feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Build a seed with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Winter Meetings. I am your host, Seven. We have a full panel of people that are just itching to talk some baseball. We got a lot of great topics this week. First of all, I did want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Gunslinger Soap. It's Gunslinger Soap. It's handmade soaps and beard products made without all of the junk to pamper your skin. You can go to their website, gunslingersoap.com, and sign up to get 15% off of your first order, and always free shipping over $30. That's gunslingersoap.com. Definitely check it out. And on this day, the anniversary of 9/11, the Winter Meetings, we did want to take a second to, just remember those that perished and everything that's gone through, the soldiers that lost their life over in Iraq and Afghanistan, those that lost their life on 9/11. We just take time to remember all of those lives and the loss that we experienced and the change that we went through as a country. And I hope that we have all had the opportunity to learn from this, and I hope that it never happens again. And I did also want to take a second to send my condolences to the people of the United Kingdom and those that have where the Queen of England, it was their head of state. Definitely condolences for the loss of the Queen. And an amazing reign. She saw a lot of history take place, and she helped change the world. She made an impact. And I hope that the monarchy thrives through the next monarch, King Charles, and I hope that everything goes well. And you guys are definitely in my thoughts. But now, of course, I'm going to bring in the people that make this show happen, the energy of the show, if you will. Of course, my right hand, the most beautiful host of Winter Meetings, Craig Newton. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
Glad to hear it. Glad to have you with us this week. I know you've been going through a lot. It's great to have you here to talk some baseball, man. I miss you when you're not here. And next we have a guy with a better pitching ERA in Major League Baseball than Albert Pujols. My pick for the Veterans Committee for the Hall of Fame for the next vote, Stefan Weaver.
Hello. Thank you so much, Tony.
And I'm very happy to also have with us this week. He hosts the Sports Report on Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern on Pinfall. He also hosts Geek Gauntlet Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. He is a Mets fan, so don't take everything he says seriously. This is Will Morgan.
How you doing, guys? Thank you for having me. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us, Will. We do have another guest. Corey should be joining us at some point. He's dealing with some technical issues. If we can't get that worked out this week, we will have him next week. And we definitely hope to see him soon. But guys, man, there's so much that's gone on in baseball this week. I want to kick it off with Major League Baseball announcing some rule changes that will start in the 2023 season. This includes a pitch clock, the banning of the shift, and enlarging the bases from 15 square inches to 18 square inches. So Craig, I'm going to go ahead and let you tee off on this one first. What's your initial reaction to these changes?
I like them. The bases, safety for the pitchers by far. Wider bases, that works quite well. And the shift, that was killing baseball. It really was. So I like the rules changes, and I'm glad they're happening as early as next season.
I agree. I mean, sooner rather than later is always a good thing with stuff like this that's going to impact the game. I thought it was interesting that they talked about in the minor leagues, the pitch clock shortened the game time by an average of 40 minutes or more.
Yep.
Like continually, like just that quick, just with that change in the pitch clock. And I think that's very impactful because I know that's one of the goals that baseball has had. And I think that this small of a change, which it's not harming anybody, it's just quick, speeding up the pace of the game, giving everybody a play clock. I don't think that's a bad thing. Will, since you are a guest, I will let you take the second. What do you think, man?
I love the pitch clock because that's one thing that baseball sorely needs, and why it suffers with other sports. This the speed of the game is extremely slow. This is going to speed it up and give it a really big boost in the arm that it needs. Pitcher safety, I'm down for it. So these changes are going to help the game tremendously. I don't know if it helps amongst popularity, but those who are existing baseball fans should enjoy the changes.
Stefan, are they keeping the Ghost Runner?
That has not been eliminated at this point. And I was actually going to kick this over to you next, Stefan, especially as a former pro pitcher. What kind of an impact do you think this is really going to have overall? Especially, we'll start with the pitch clock and we can talk about the other stuff.
Well, I like the pitch clock, but I'm a pitcher, so let's keep in mind there's also hitter's clock. Hitters have only a certain amount.
Right.
I mean, that caused a lot of delay, too. Hitters getting out like Dustin Pedroia, spending 10 minutes on his batting glove. And, this year they're supposed to keep 1 foot in the batting box, but that was never enforced. So,
right.
That's true.
Yeah, but I think it's a good thing. Plus, the shift thing, I hate the shift, too, like Craig, but I hate the fact that they abandoned it because – if the offense is going to give it to you, why not take it? I think the best way to get rid of the shift is to have the hitters beat the shift, go the opposite way. You see so many hitters just rolling the ball over to second, 1 out. So if hitters, whenever they go to the opposite field, the announcers invariably say, well, in order to break out of a slump, the best way to do it is go to the opposite field. So why doesn't everyone do it?
Well, I'm one of those where that's honestly like a little bit bigger bases. Like, honestly, I don't really think the bigger bases are going to have a huge impact in the grand scheme of things. I think you maybe see an average of an increase in 1 run every 5 or 6 games. So I don't think that one's going to have very much of an impact at all. With the shift, though, my issue is when you are a hitter at any stage, your hitting coaches are working with you on directional hitting. And, and honestly, like as somebody who that was my bread and butter. When I got a hit, I just, I found the gap. And, it does take some time, but it's all in how you push that weight out as you make contact with the ball. It is possible to do. Every hitter can. I'm looking at you, Joey Gallo. Every hitter can learn how to directional hit, but the league isn't the league isn't going to stand by and let this kill the game, because too many hitters refuse to learn how to directional hit. They'd rather just, they're going to go in the shift, I'm just going to go for the long ball. I get it. Chicks dig the long ball, but relying on the long ball doesn't win games. Ask the New York Yankees.
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
Plus, as a pitcher, I would much rather face a guy going for the downs than a guy going the opposite way. Guys going the opposite way used to kill me, but guys that go for the fences, they can be pitched to.
Yeah.
But guys that go the opposite way, they can't be pitched to. I mean, you can hit anything the opposite way. I remember Steve Sachs, when we were playing an A-ball, he used to kill me down the right field line.
So, Stefan, let me ask you this. These changes, when did they first come up? Was this something that was brought up last year, or?
The pitch clock, honestly, that one I would say that one's been being kicked around, at least from my experience, the longer. I'm sure Craig and Stefan can confirm this. The pitch clock has been one of the longer conversations. There was a lot of resistance to it at first, and I think the reason was because they didn't want to rush the pitchers and worry about them doing damage. Well, no, it's honestly not really the pitchers that are the problem. When you've got batters that are taking a timeout between each pitch, whether they swung at it or not, stepping back, adjusting their gloves, grabbing their balls, playing with their necklace, figuring out which end of the bat they have to hold. Like, you don't need to do that during every freaking at bat. Like, I don't understand it. And so I like the pitch timer, because I think Stefan's right. I think this impacts the hitters more than it does the pitchers. I legitimately do. But the shift, man, I get why. I think these guys should, I understand in today's market, the value of an athlete in baseball. You see these $40 million guys. That's great. If the value is going to be there,
I gotta take care of my dog. I'll be right back.
If you were taught correctly in the first place, would we really need this?
Yeah, because they use the shift in every level for the most part. And so directional hitting should be a practice from Little League.
Jump.
Once you get out, I like in T-ball, you can even work on it, because you can say, okay, I want you to hit it between second and third. Okay, I want you to hit it this direction. Right. And with that T, you can work on your body position and hand movements so that you can see what you need to do. So for me, I don't think there's an excuse for this to need to be done, but I understand why they're doing it. And that's really all there is to it. Is I get it, but it's like, I think it's dumb. So my next question to you guys, and Stefan, I'll let you take this one first. What do you think there are any other rule changes that they should be considering that would be impactful to the game in a positive way?
I'm sure I can think of some, but at the moment, no. You put me on the spot.
Will, what do you think?
I do think that the laser strike zone is going to help a lot. I love that idea.
Yeah, that was going to be my thing. I think that's a great idea too.
I'm tired of, he's a low ball ump, he's an inside ball ump, he's a high ball ump. A strike is a strike. I don't care what kind of ump you are.
Yep.
It is, and this is the thing, is what you're going to see. Like, I thought it was funny, because for those of you that don't know, celebrity umpire, which I think shouldn't exist, but it does, because Angel Hernandez is a nutsack. Angel Hernandez sued the major leagues, claiming racism for why he hadn't gotten a crew chief position.
What? This
man, who misses more balls and strikes than Stevie fucking Wonder, is suing me. And that blew me away. But the MLB's response was probably one of the best diss tracks since Eminem hit MGK. I'm just going to throw it out there.
So you mean to tell me because he didn't get what he wanted, he threw a charge of racism out there?
And that's the thing. It is completely legitimately, that is exactly what he said. So that's, because and what makes it worse is even throughout discovery, which, you know, when they're going through lawsuit discovery, they look at everything. They have not been able to come up with any actual concrete proof that the league did anything. And I will always be open to hear somebody out when they say they're a victim of racism. We all should be willing to listen.
Yeah.
But
not
that person,
this is petty.
Oh, it's exactly petty. But and so when the league shot back in their response to the lawsuit, they cited all of the mistakes that he's made, all of the times that his mistakes blew games and negatively impacted the league. They spelled it out. And I was like, somebody needs to take him to the hospital, get some burn cream. Yeah, he's going to have to like live in just a vat of aloe for a while.
At the end of every year, each team sends in a report card on an umpire. I'm sure he did not get a good report card. Everybody.
There is one of my favorite Twitter follows. One of my favorite feeds to follow on Twitter it's an umpire report card. And so every play umpire every day gets a report card. And, you know, no umpire is perfect. We can all agree on that. That's one of the human elements to the game. It is what it is, you know, but Angel Hernandez is consistently in the bottom rated umpires every time he's behind the plate. And what I thought was interesting is the ones that I've seen. So I'll preface it by saying that the ones that I've seen on the days that I've caught it, he has more run impacting missed calls than anybody.
So
here's the thing.
So wait a minute. Let me understand. Let me get you straight. I just want to be sure I'm not missing out on something. You suck at your job, and you expect a promotion for sucking at your job.
You make like close to $100,000 a year.
Shut the hell up. I'm sorry, but shut the hell up. You making $100,000 a year, calling balls and strikes.
Poorly.
You say what?
Poorly calling balls and strikes. Poorly.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up, man.
Yeah, you're not even doing your job.
Not even doing it right. Shut the hell up.
And that's what I don't get is like, I understand that these guys make mistakes. Like we joke about Scott Foster in the NBA a lot because he sucks, but he actually gets it right on a pretty consistent basis.
Yeah.
The unfortunate, you know, and it seems to be situational where he makes mistakes or when Chris Paul's on the court. With Angel Hernandez, the numbers don't lie. Scott Foster, Scott Frost is, Scott Foster, that's his name, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. The referee, NBA referee.
He has a better record against Chris Paul than child support attorneys have against Nick Cannon.
Good one.
I mean, like somebody needs to take that dude's driver's license away because he clearly can't pull out of a driveway. But you can't. And what Angel Hernandez did frustrates me because it gives ammunition to people that want to be naysayers during legitimate complaints of racial abuse.
Right.
And it's just like when girls make false accusations of sexual assault too. Mm-hmm. You know. For the love of God, you know, just to get out of stuff is more often what it's not. It's to save face. Like they know what they're doing.
Right.
And you see these individuals whose lives are completely destroyed. I have a friend that
everyone's got an agenda.
Right.
Got an agenda.
Yes.
Everybody
got an agenda. Everybody got a price.
I have a guy that I've known for, let's see, my son's 12. So I've known him for 14 years. And about 5 years before,
12, so you've known him for 14 years.
I've known the friend. I've known the friend for 14 years. About 5 years before I met him, he spent 3 months in jail over a false accusation. And what made it even worse was the false accusation came from a 16-year-old girl, and he was in his mid-20s. So for his safety, they had to move him from Gen Pop to maximum security because of this accusation. His life was forever ruined. He was never able to recover from that.
Right.
Meanwhile, There's
Like-
no reprimand for the woman filing a false claim.
Consequences, right?
Consequences, no consequences.
And there needs to, and I think that changes the discussion.
Ooh.
Now, and I can see the naysayers on that when you have consequences for false accusations of racial issues or like sexual assault, stuff like that, you know, because, well, I mean, and you do, because there's defamation lawsuits, or, you know, look, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, that is the thing, you know, it's a prime example. I sell insurance, I sell home and renters insurance, and we offer a fringe coverage that you can add on where you're covered if it's a personal issue and you get sued for libel, slander, or defamation of character. And now when somebody asks me what that is, because a lot of people don't know, it's understandable, I just say Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
Oh, we get it now.
Yeah, and that's literally what it is. The problem is it's most of the time, the only time those go through is when there is a severe financial loss. And so somebody like my buddy that was just, you know, a construction worker and a scout leader and a dad that had to spend 90 days in jail, not going to be a defamation case on that Heard, especially since the person that was made the false accusation was a 16-year-old girl. That's not going anywhere. So he's left without anything.
And he'll never get a job again.
Well, and he still works in construction because he was adjudicated. It was proven that he didn't do it. He can still work, but any new company that he applies for, he has to
ask him.
They're going to ask him, because companies now, when they have employees, they Google them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? Now I've got to provide a documented proof that this charge was released, and it was found that I was innocent. This was false accusations, because otherwise I'm not going to get my foot in the door. Like, he submits that, because you know how, like, on God damn it. You know how on, like, when you're doing an application, you have that spot where you can upload your resume and a cover letter. He just submits that as his cover letter. Like, imagine having to do that.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life.
That's bad.
You know, so there needs to be legitimate consequences for those issues. But the problem is, when you have people that are on the fringe outlier of issues that are trying to get their case heard, you start to get concerned. Well, it's harder to prove what I'm saying. So am I going to be a victim of this, even though I was actually a victim? And that's where the, you know, catch-22 comes in. So that's what makes it difficult. But don't be a dick. I guess that's the moral of the discussion.
Yes.
All right. All right. So next thing that we wanted to talk about, we talked a little bit last week and in the Sports Report After Dark before last week. We talked about the fact that Major League Baseball minor league players have started the process to unionize. And the Major League Baseball Players Union, the MLBPA, is actually going to be over this new union. They have been facilitating the process. They actually, to staff the minor league players union, they actually absorbed 2 organizations that were advocating for minor league players and gave them all jobs, which I thought was stellar.
Yep.
But they sent out the union cards. They're in the process of certifying the vote right now. ESPN had an article earlier today, I think I sent it to you guys, where they said that they had agreed on a neutral arbiter that is going to certify the votes, make sure everything's legit. But what initially shocked me, but now that I think about it, the more I think about this, it makes sense. Rob Manfred on Friday said that the league was preparing to voluntarily accept the union and not make it a more drawn out process.
Think so.
Man, fuck Rob Manfred.
Well, he's still got to make up for this year, beginning of this year.
Fuck him. Hey, my only issue with that is this. Those guys have been done a great injustice over the years, because when you go back and look at the minor league system, a lot of times these guys aren't making a whole lot of money. They have to go find outside jobs to try to make ends meet, and that's just completely wrong. Just like a semi-pro football player. You're out there pretty much, you play the season, you play whatever you're contracted, then after that, no more money. You got to go out and do things on your own. It's about time, but the process is going too slow, and I don't know if you can trust the people who's been against it for so long. Now they come up and saying, okay, we're going to accept this. Can you trust that?
I think that you can. And here's my thought. I know I've shared this with you guys, and Craig, I'll let you tee off on. I'm gonna let you guys tee off on this next because I get why the heads are shaking. But here's the thing: Rob Manfred hates baseball, but he is a businessman.
True.
And one of the things that baseball has struggled against is not having as recognizable athletes as many recognizable athletes as they prefer. They don't have as many household names consistently as they would like. Those household names sell baseball.
That's baseball,
fault, and that is baseball's fault. But with changing, with fixing the minor league process so that these guys can play baseball professionally and not have to worry about their family. And I'm going to say it like that because that's really all the expectation is that these guys want, and that's not unreasonable.
No,
if baseball wants to drag more, wants to get more of these guys to come through the baseball instead of going to the other sport that they could be drafted in, like football or the NBA. You've got to fix that system because the money in the minors is a detractor for a lot of guys and keeps a lot of guys from being able to put the work in. Mm-hmm. So if you make standards for facilities and living conditions and pay and make sure these guys have the ability to eat, and also that they have the ability to, not be a burden to their families. Why, you get long-term benefit from that because when you start seeing these big names like the next Kyler Murray, we'll use him as an example. Instead of going to football and taking all those brain injuries, he takes the baseball money because he knows at the end of the day he's going to make more money. Because you can make more money as a professional baseball player than you can as a professional football player,
and partially no
CTE, and no CTE. Thank you.
Bless you.
But that 5-year gap where you're going from getting drafted to getting to the majors, you got to be able to take care of stuff.
Yep.
And so I get that. But Craig, I'm going to have you last on this because I'm going to get Stefan next. Stefan, what do you think?
I agree. I mean, and I think I talked to you about this before. The way it works in the minor leagues is when I was in A-ball, it was like $600 a month and about $750 a day in meal money, which is nothing. Then you get to Double-A, it's like, you get like $12.50 a month and you get like $17 for meal money. And then when you get to Triple-A, you get like $2,000 a month and you get like $25 for meal money. So the poorer you are, the less you get. And those guys in single, I mean, they need to eat as much as big leaguers.
Well, yeah. I mean, the most successful guys in the majors, or in any professional sport, a noticeable chunk of their pay is being invested into their bodies for a dietitian, the right food, all of those things. So, it's one of the things that helps them. It's why Tom Brady has lasted for 20 plus years because of those
James.
LeBron James. These guys spend $1 million a year on their body, taking care of their body. That's how they stay at that elite level. Got to give these other guys a fair shot. Craig, what do you think about all of this?
I don't trust the SOB as far as I could throw him.
Right there with you, buddy. Right there with you.
I don't blame you, honestly.
Major League Baseball constantly plays a shell game with the minor league because once a player is put on the 40-man roster, once he comes up to the big club, that clock for free agency starts ticking. So they keep stringing these poor minor leaguers along. They bring them on the 40-man roster, but they won't bring them up to the big club. They want to keep their free agency clock frozen for as long as possible. Now, with major league owners now agreeing to this minor league union, that is going to speed up the clock for free agency down the road. That's why I don't trust it. There's something they're getting out of this that I'm not seeing, but I smell a rat. I
don't trust it at all.
I don't blame you because owners cannot be happy with this, with the minor league union. I mean, it's just more money for them.
Yep.
It was only a matter. I can't help but think it was only a matter of time before this happens. And so I think you may be right. They may smell a rat and they may be trying to soften their guard when they get to the table, things are more beneficial for them to try, which can be expected. But if baseball uses this correctly, if the majors use this correctly, They can use it as a tool to bring some life back into baseball. Now, of course, the track record proves that the chances of that happening are slim and less than that. I think it's just above Stefan's Hall of Fame chances. But the
Now you said something that I want to get back to at some point.
What's that?
Baseball players and popularity. How they don't have the guys out there who looking at their superstars the way that they should.
Mm-hmm.
That's all baseball's fault, and it needs to get better because these guys can bring in more money for their clubs, which can translate to other things.
Baseball's marketing is part of the reason that baseball is dying.
Yep.
You know what I have to say about that? I've always, basketball, they do a great job of, LeBron James and the Lakers are coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And football, same thing. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought that baseball didn't need that because it's the game that sells itself, not necessarily an individual. It's not an individual game.
My thing is though, that person's Albert Pujols, Don-Tom Star, Aaron Judge, up and coming star, look like he's going to hit 63 this year. You can push that. That's something that you can push to help with popularity of the game. And you could take that money, use it for other things. And the marketing just hadn't caught up to what the NBA is doing and what the NFL is doing.
The one thing that the NBA does correctly, and the biggest thing that NBA has started doing correctly, I'll say it like this: the reason that Adam Silver is the best GM in professional sports is he effectively uses the marketing to expand basketball and to make it reachable, and he uses the players. He came in and he improved the players' seat at the table.
Yep.
And because of that, the players give him a hell of a lot more respect. And he's able to get a lot more accomplished.
Yep.
Baseball's problem has always been owners versus players. I've said this multiple times.
You have.
Baseball's biggest problem has always been owners versus players. If Rob Manfred really wants to change the direction of baseball, he needs to adopt the Adam Silver method because it would completely change the game.
But this is why I say fuck Rob Manfred, because you got ego there. And when you have an ego, it takes away the ability to have common sense. It's going to be my way, and that's it. You can't be like that.
Adam Silver, one of the reasons why fans of basketball, like the dedicated fans, like Adam Silver, is because Adam Silver looks like he likes baseball. Basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But the fan perception of Robert Manfred and most of the owners, I'll even say, is that they don't like baseball. They are about a business. They just want to make money. They don't want to make investments. Okay. Baseball needs to change that because in today's day and age, the owners aren't reachable. They're not personable. And back in, Craig and I have talked about this. Up into the 80s, the owners sat down in the stands. You could walk up to the owners, you walk into your seat, say, hey, talk baseball with them.
Yep.
There were multiple owners. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. Ken Kendricks probably has forgotten what the inside of Chase Field looks like. He hasn't been in there in so long.
Yep.
His office isn't in Chase Field. And that's the thing. And that's the thing is you've got to, if you really want to bring a breath of life back to baseball, you have to start effectively marketing your players. And ultimately, you can pick one from each team. It's not hard. There is a legitimate marketable player on each team. And you utilize that paired with giving players a more legitimate seat at the table. And maybe, you never know, because like I said, when you try to look at this unionization of minor league players optimistically, this has a bigger impact on the player side of things and gives them more weight in discussions for CBAs, whether it's the minor league CBA or the MLB, the Major League CBA. So this does change the seat at the table that the players have. If baseball uses it correctly, this can be a good thing, and that could be what they're trying to do. Again, we trust Rob Manfred about as well as we can throw him, but it's right there for them to fucking take at this point.
Yep.
It's right there.
It's never too late to do the right thing, but when the right thing has some type of agenda attached to it, I can't get behind it.
And it's business. There's going to be agendas on both sides no matter what. Like, we can be realistic about that. But if everybody comes to this in a presentation format or with the mindset, sorry, I don't know why I said presentation. If everybody comes to this with the mindset of we want to make baseball better, because here's the thing, if you make baseball better, the money is going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
If you have effective pro sports franchises, the money prints itself, basically. Like, really. But if you continue to allow a professional sport to struggle, the printing press stops.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've got to change their mindset and use this to do that. Or we're just going to see baseball continue to decline.
And that'd be a damn shame.
There's no desperation for the Major League Baseball owners. They're making money hand over fist. They're signing billion-dollar contracts with the networks. The NBA, before Adam Silver came in there was a desperation. It was not the number one market for anything in anywhere in the country. Was NBA and number one in the market. A lot of the games were being played at night on and the players, they weren't marketing the players. And Silver came in and said, I'll take it from here, David Stern, and I'll market the players, and not just the current stars like Michael Jordan, but I'm going to market the young players coming in the draft and all that. And he turned it around for the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
They're now in Europe, they're now in Asia. I mean,
he's there. And Will and I have talked about this. Adam Silver has got the NBA on track to turn into a complete international baseball or basketball association, and turn basketball into a more world sport. Now, it's not going to be the same thing as soccer in that impact, but in a similar format. He could do it. That's the direction that he's going.
And people forget.
So many great young players in baseball. It's crazy.
And people forget.
In the league, there's so many great young players.
And people forget about the NBA. Even in the days of Magic and Larry Bird, the finals were on tape delay.
Yep.
Once Michael got into the league and they started marketing Michael, everything changed to what you have today. So it can be done.
Yep. It can.
Absolutely.
You got too many stars in baseball. We talk about it all the time, Seven. You got too many stars in baseball that you can market and get out there.
How are the Angels?
Young stars.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. How are the Angels, who should be they're in one of the largest sports markets in the country? How are the Angels selling less than half their tickets every game with two generational talents on their roster? That is horrible marketing.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That is absolutely horrible marketing. And the A's, that video that went viral, that guy that was apparently getting a BJ in the stands. If your stands
the best thing you've seen ever from them.
That's going to end up as the number one baseball video of the year, unless Albert Pujols hits 70 during the or hits 700 during the regular season.
Yep.
That's the highlight of the year.
One of the few games where someone blew it and was celebrated.
I don't know why the A's are struggling to investigate who those fans were. There was like 45 people at the game. Really? It was that hard to figure out what's going on? I mean,
you could have found out easy.
I pay them. They increase their attendance, their television audience probably twofold.
Their Twitter following probably doubled overnight because of that video.
Yep.
Like, I mean, just here's $100,000. Start an OnlyFans. Don't do that in the stadium again. For the love of God, please. That's all you got to do. Maybe make a commercial making a joke about it. Like,
or next time wear an A's hat. Could you please wear an A's hat so it's bobbing?
I love that idea. I love that idea.
Because, like, if you look at football. Okay, we'll switch over to our sports example for the problems in baseball's marketing. We'll switch over to using football as an example. The Jets can't win a game to save their life.
Nope.
Like, they are consistently one of the bottom performers in the league.
Yep.
You have never seen the Jets Stadium anywhere near as empty in comparison as the Angels Stadium has been this year.
Oh, Jets fans will support.
Jets fans come out despite the issues. The Jags, yes, they have one of the lower attendances in the league. They're a great example, but guess what? Their stadium is still not comparatively that empty. The Dolphins this year are going to see a lot better just because of how much talent they have on that roster. But in the past, they have been a, consistently lower attendance team. They have never had the low turnouts in NFL games that you see at baseball games. And it's marketing. And what it is, so here's the thing. When your season ticket holders buy the season tickets, that immediately counts for the attendance of that game, whether they show up or not.
Yep.
So even though you can only see 1,000 fans in the stadium, guess what? Oh, the attendance was 18,000 today because all the season ticket holders' attendance counts no matter what.
Yep.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. You make less off of season tickets than you do off of season games, off of single game tickets. So
you're an owner, and you know that. Why, as an owner, would I have any incentive to try and change and make it more fan friendly and more promotions for the players? I'm making my money.
When I think about investing in sponsorships, because I have goals one day. I want to take this to big heights with my podcasting stuff, and maybe my podcasting business, sponsors a sports team. I'm going to be less concerned about who the team is and more concerned about the impact. If I'm sponsoring the Angels, okay, if I'm investing in a sponsorship for the Angels or the A's, why am I going to pay a bunch of money to have my sponsorship displayed in a stadium that nobody goes to?
Preach.
Or that is in disrepair.
Preach.
And I understand that part of the issue with the A's is they've been trying to get the Coliseum updated for a long time. And, and all of that, and they're going to be looking at changing. But they should still be marketing.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I blame the season ticket holders too, because if they would have more of a voice, that would maybe be more to a site change.
Season ticket holders have very little voice.
Yeah.
What talks and creates change is sponsors. And
That's
these
true.
teams that make a big change is because sponsors start pulling out. That's like, all right, we'll make a good run so that everybody's interested again so that we can keep that price where it's at.
And then you're also looking at a team's bottom dollar. So yeah. You're right.
Because that's a majority. The two highest paying pieces of owning a sports franchise are the TV deals and the sponsorships. That's where most of your money comes from right there. What we saw during the pandemic, the average sports team only lost 20% of their revenue from ticket sales. There's 20 to 30% was the average across all professional sports. Merch still sold.
Oh yeah.
Beer still sold.
Beer still sold, yeah.
Jersey still sold.
Like all of that stuff still sold. And it was a 20% drop. So
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's great for teams that they don't have to rely on tickets, but that also gets rid of this excuse where, we had to pay our players so much, so we raised ticket sales. No,
I've always felt that including a salary cap, there should be a salary bottom, salary floor. Teams have to spend a certain amount of money that they get from the TV revenues on players and development.
We should not have individual players with a higher salary than an entire team in the league.
Yep.
I agree.
That's that's ultimately what it comes down to me is I'm there's a lot of players who are like, well, if we put in a salary cap, then we're not going to see as much on the top end. Okay, you're still going to make them a lot more on the bottom end. They did raise the minimum salaries with the CBA, which I think is great, but there needs to be, but too many teams rely on those minimums. There needs to be a salary floor. There absolutely, because like I said, an individual player should not have a higher salary than an entire team in the league.
I've been a lot of those fans are passionate. They're good fans.
They're just pissed they're just like Craig said, they're pissed at the ownership because of all the dumb shit they keep doing. Season ticket holders don't have
Raider fans.
Season ticket holders don't have their own parking lot anymore. They raised prices. Why? Why support them?
Right.
They're all staying home watching them on TV.
Exactly.
I mean, hell, you can make your own. Get your big screen, you get your own concessions, your own beer, chill out at home.
You're pricing out your fans.
Yep.
And that's the dumbest thing you can do in this business is price out your fans. Legitimately. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about, our final big topic of the evening, is I think the hottest playoff battle left in professional baseball right now is the battle in the National League East between the Mets and the Braves.
God.
The Mets are currently 1.5 games ahead of the Braves right now in the standings after today's play. Wait, hold on. Are the Mets playing right now? But as of right now, I don't think the Mets already played today. Yeah. 1.5 because the Mets beat the Marlins today 9-3, and the Braves lost in a walk-off to the Mariners. Now 8-7. Yep.
Now out of the Mets with 6-4 out of their last 10, they need to do that. Should be better. That should be better.
The Mets should be better, but I think for me, where the Mets are going to find some success is with the schedule that they've got through the end of the season. They've got a few games where they've got a few different series as they work through this that they're going to be able to get right, because they wrapped up the series against Miami today, won 2 out of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
The next series is against the Cubs, which that'll be a little tougher, but you can still take 2 out of 3
you can
on
still
that.
take 2 of those. Yeah.
A 4-game split against Pittsburgh, a 4-game series against Pittsburgh. You should take every game in that series.
Every game of that one should be yours.
3 out of 4 at a minimum, but you should sweep the Pirates.
Yeah.
Milwaukee Brewers, you take 1 or 2 out of those. They are the Brewers hit and miss, so I'll give them a little bit of benefit. You got the A's coming up, perfect team to sweep. 2 more against the Marlins, and then the Braves and the Nationals. The Mets have the ability to get right.
They need to, man.
They just need to. Stefan, what have you seen, man? What do you think?
I like the Mets. I don't think they have too much to get right. I mean, they're getting most of it right. I mean, I don't follow them probably like Will does, but from what I see, they're getting it right.
What do you think, Craig?
So just to be clear, the Giants are no longer contending. I just want to make sure.
No, the Dodgers actually clinched yesterday.
It was close. I mean, the Giants were really in it till the bitter end of April.
At 66 and 73.
Really quick, I want to ask you about the Giants, Craig. How do you go from 107 win season to at best 70?
A lot of injuries, and pitching did not live up to. Other than crap, what's his name? God, I can't think of his name.
I know who you mean.
Dang it, I can't think of his name. Was it?
Rodon.
No, not Rodon. Webb.
Other than Carlos Rodon,
Logan Webb
didn't live up to expectations.
Is it Logan Webb?
Yeah,
Webb is in there too, but Carlos Rodon's actually had a great season.
Yeah, he did.
But the Giants' offense just wasn't there.
No,
I think another factor is they all had career years last year, and you don't do that too often. I mean,
No.
I'm
the Red
rooting for,
Sox, they all had career years in 2018. Now look,
I'm rooting for the Mets. I think the Mets are getting healthy at the right time. They got their pitching back, thank goodness.
Yeah,
And,
Scherzer's almost back. I think he'll be back next week.
Yep.
Yeah. The A's game's gonna be a body bag game, so 2 games. So I mean, I think they should coast into the playoffs quite nicely.
It's so you think so? I mean, yeah, they're both the Braves and the Mets. ESPN has them both with a greater than 99% chance to make the playoffs. They haven't officially clinched yet, but they're both pretty much there. So my question to you guys, it's Craig's turn to go first. Craig, I'll let you take this question first.
Okay.
Do you think the Braves end up coming back and winning this division, or do you think it's the Mets?
I think the Mets have got it. I don't think the Braves have got. I mean, I put a lot of stock in Mr. Freeman, with the Braves,
Which everyone should.
Oh, Doc Peterson too. I mean, those were winners. They were leaders, and I think they're lacking in some much needed leadership on that team and in the clubhouse. That's why I'm leaning more towards the Mets.
Okay, Will, what do you think?
They need to stop playing down to the level of their competition, but I'm gonna still stick with my Mets. But they need to stop playing down to the level of competition.
I identify with that intimately.
Yeah, they need to stop doing that, man. They've lost some games this year that they shouldn't have lost. Just playing down to the level of competition. Shortwaters got to get these boys ready to play, man. We've had some pitching issues, and in terms of injuries and things like that, some untimely hitting. But I think the Mets can hold on and get this done with that schedule. I'm kind of concerned about that series with the Braves, but if we could take one or two of those games, I think we're sitting pretty. But you got to play up to your level of competition.
Just don't get swept.
Yeah,
just don't. Yeah, just don't get swept.
Don't get swept.
Craig,
yeah.
But yeah, man. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is your turn, Stefan. What do you think?
Well, I think pitching is the game, and the Mets are just getting their pitching right at the right time. I mean, when you have Scherzer and DeGrom and whoever else they have, I mean, that's 2 wins.
That's
right
a good
there.
1-2 punch.
Bassett is great. He's been great on the mound this year.
He's not bad.
I think I was looking at his numbers earlier, and I want to say he's like 13-4.
How happy is he to get out of Oakland?
Something stupid good. Yeah, hold on. What is his? Oh, I'm sorry, 13-7. Tied for 10th best record in the league.
Yeah, ERA at 3.24.
Like stupid, and that's your third.
Mm-hmm.
That's your third pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. We talk about the Dodgers lineup, like their hitting lineup being essentially Murderer's Row 2.0. We've all used that this year. That pitching lineup for the New York is stupid good. When you think about how good the Mets are doing, despite the fact that they have had issues with not having Scherzer or DeGrom off and on, sometimes both at the same time for most of the season.
Yep.
That's how good this team is. They don't have their 2 best pitchers for most games, and they're still lighting it up.
I don't think the Dodgers want to play them.
I don't think so
either.
either.
The Dodgers, I don't think anybody wants to face the Mets.
When that pitching staff is healthy, that's going to be the Dodgers' Achilles heel.
And, good pitching beats good hitting. So
all the time.
You can see that the way Judge swings at good pitches, or Stanton. I mean, they look awful against good pitches.
Stanton looks awful when he misses anything because that dude puts more into his swing than I do into scratching my balls.
Well, he swings all the upper half of the body. He swings all upper half. He doesn't use his legs at all.
And if he would use the power that's in his legs, that's clearly there, he would rake.
Yep, he would.
I don't get why his swing is the way it is. I really don't. It baffles me, man. I don't get it. My boy Spencer Strider of the Braves, he is the only reason that I hesitate, because the Braves pitching is actually pretty decent. And I think that's something that hasn't really been given a lot of credit, because you've got like for example, Kyle Wright has that one of their starting pitchers has 17 wins. He's definitely up there. Max Fried has an ERA of 2.50. Spencer Strider, the rookie, is
that's the dude you were telling me about one time.
Listen to this. Spencer Strider is a rookie pitcher that is now starting, and he leads the team with 183 strikeouts.
I remember you telling me about him.
National League Rookie of the Year. I'm telling you guys, like this kid is ridiculous.
Easy. Real quick, I just want to say shout out to the Dodgers. They did clinch a playoff berth today.
Yes, the Dodgers clinched today. The Pirates were eliminated yesterday, and the A's were eliminated like I think officially it was like officially it was like a week ago, but like and really it was like
April 10th.
Yeah, something like that.
10th or the 11th, whichever the day their first game was. And some scores from today as we start to get closer to wrapping up here. Right now, bottom of the 6th, Sunday Night Baseball. Giants are tied with the Cubs, 1-1. Red Sox did beat the Orioles today, 1-0. Matt Bard's coming in with his 5th save of the year. Rich Hill getting the W in that game.
I know you want the Red Sox to reach 500 real bad, don't you?
I just, as long as they can hit 500, for the love of God, please. Phillies beat the Nats 7-5. Cardinals beat the Pirates 4-3. Yankees clobbered the Rays 10-4. Peralta got the W in that one. Mets beat the Marlins, like we said, 9-3. Astros completely thrashed the Angels 12-4.
Glad Josie ain't here.
Nobody didn't none of us see that coming except for the Astros. Yep. 7-6. Brewers over the Reds. Guardians beat the Twins 4-1. That's going to put the Guardians in a better playoff position. I do think we see the Guardians as a wild card team this year. Royals beat the Tigers 4-0. The Rangers beat the Blue Jays, thank God, 4-1. There's actually almost a fight in that game. I think there was a fight in that game.
I know I saw somebody charge a mound.
Yeah, there was that game got more testy than a sperm bank. Diamondbacks over the Rockies 12-6. I'm on it today, man.
You've been holding that one back though, haven't you?
Yeah, he's been waiting to say that one.
No, that one just came. That one just came to me. A's actually beat the White Sox today 10-3. Yeah, that one just came to me. No pun intended. The Mariners, my favorite wild card contender, did beat the Braves 8-7 today. I still think the Mariners are a sleeper team for the playoffs. Do not count them out. They will make their series interesting. It's going to happen. I'm not saying they're going to win, but they will make the American League series that they are in interesting. Yeah.
I think for the Rays, this was their they had to do well in this series against the Yankees to gain ground, but they're getting killed by the Yankees.
It's the Yankees. The Yankees offense is clicking back into gear at the right time. And something to remember is they still haven't gotten Matt Carpenter back. He's going to be back next week. The Yankees, I think he should be. I think the Yankees are going to go into the playoffs with some decent momentum and some good energy, and lose in the first round. Dodgers beat the Padres today as well.
Judge at 63?
Not yet. He's.
Do you think he's on pace?
Hold on, let me see.
I thought he was on pace for 63.
I want to look.
How about Pujols passing A-Rod?
That was he hit 697 today, and actually it was a great story I saw out of that. The fans that caught the ball wanted to meet him, give it back to him, and they were actually there on the anniversary of one of the fans' father passing, and they were Pirates fans, and he told them to keep that 697 and sign 2 more balls for them. Said it would mean more to them than it would to him, and I think that's fantastic. That is a class act by Pujols. He's such a good guy. Yeah,
because Judge has 55 homers right now. He's on pace for 63.
I want to see. I want to hold on. I'm taking a look at this right now. What is he projected? He's okay. So he's on. Yeah, he's on pace for 62 to 63.
You think he does it?
Let me look at the Yankees schedule.
Who do they have left?
Walking his ass.
And that's what I want to look at. Is I want to see who they're going to face, because I think that's going to have an impact on how I feel about this. They've got a 2-game set Tuesday and Wednesday against the Red Sox. Looks like they're going to face Pivetta and Bello, so he'll probably get at least one out of those two. Probably Pivetta, because Pivetta gives runs away like they're Oprah's favorite things.
You get a card.
3-game set against the Brewers after that. 2 against Pittsburgh. You'll probably get a couple there. Looking at facing Contreras and Brubaker. So we'll see some. Yeah, he'll probably get a couple out of that. And then a 4-game set against Boston, 3 against Toronto, 3 against Baltimore, which is a very hitter-friendly park. And the Toronto games are at Toronto, which is a very hitter-friendly park.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Red Sox in Boston or in New York?
The Red Sox ones are in Boston, so that's
another hitter-friendly park.
Yeah, that's another hitter-friendly park. Yeah, yep. I think he hits it. I think actually he may take it one step further and hit 64.
Unless they stop pitching to him, and I know I would. That's just me.
It's going to happen, but I mean, the task for the Yankees in that case is you have to make them pitch to Judge.
Yep.
So that means that where you put him in the lineup, the person before him and the person after him, they don't want to face either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which means you need to get Giancarlo Stanton to get his head out of his ass and get back to hitting well.
Yeah,
and then
get Donaldson in there, and
Donaldson, Carpenter, once he's back, if you put him right in the middle of those guys, they won't have a choice.
Yeah, you don't have a choice but to pitch to him then.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. Literally. And that's the crazy thing about this lineup for the Yankees is that once they are back to healthy, as they work into the postseason, that lineup is going to be really freaking deadly. Like, I don't even know. But the problem is the Yankees have this problem of inconsistency. There is so much potential. That is a legitimately stacked lineup across the board for the Yankees. It truly is. But
didn't they go like 16 scoreless innings against Houston? I mean, they can't. Yeah, you're right. They're very inconsistent.
And that's the problem is you can't beat the crap out of the bad teams and then struggle against the good teams and last in the playoffs. Right. It doesn't happen because right now the Yankees have to hope to God they don't see the Astros until the ALCS. That's the Yankees' hope at this point is they don't have to face the Astros until the ALCS.
Astros are going to the series.
I think the Astros, yeah. I think we see right now it's either Astros Dodgers or Astros Mets. We had the Mariners playing that spoiler, like I said.
Yeah.
That's based on what I can see. I know I'm not a former pro like Mr. Weaver, but even when I put my glasses on, that's how it looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So as we wrap up, any final thoughts? Will, we'll start with you, buddy.
Mets, get it in gear, please. You won today. We need to keep that momentum going. We're 6-4 out of the last 10. We need to go ahead and take this thing into overdrive, finish up strong, get this division win. I don't want to say a wild card because of the way you started off. You were houses on fire. So let's go ahead. Let's play some consistent. For real, earlier in the season, look where they were.
You are wrong.
And it's like now you're starting to fall off. You need to get back to what you were before. Stay motivated. Beat who you need to beat. Split with those teams who are going to give you a challenge, and win the division and go from there.
Yeah, split with the good teams, beat the bad teams.
Yep.
And don't forget, you can catch Will Monday nights with me, 10 Eastern on Sports Report, and Saturday, and that's on the Pinfall streams, and then Saturday nights on the Geek Gauntlet Twitch page, you can catch the Geek Gauntlet podcast with Will, Shaw, and a smattering of others as they talk all things geek culture.
As well on, YouTube.
As well. Oh, it is on you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the chance to sit in for most of that last night. And I'm pretty sure I had Will laughing really, really hard too many times. Stefan, what about you, man? Any final thoughts?
I want to really congratulate baseball on adding that third wild card. I think that has made it so exciting. I mean, it's coming down. I mean, there's so many teams that have a chance that would never have had a chance before.
This season as a whole
have some excitement now.
And the season as a whole has been really good.
There's a lot of money in playoff baseball, so it makes sense. I'm honestly, I do kind of like this format better because October baseball is about, teams playing spoiler. That's why it's a series and not just one game, because you have that chance.
Plus, they changed the playoff format, so it's like if you're the first wild card, I think you have to go to the person you're playing for all 3 games. It's not none of this 2 out of 3 stuff, I think.
And I know you're right, and I think that's what makes it interesting is they've changed the dynamic and the flow of the playoffs in a positive way.
Yes.
So I think that it's a great addition to baseball. It makes sense money wise. I mean, you're going to make more money off of more playoff baseball games. Yeah, it's 3 games on each side potentially, worst case scenario, but which I don't even think that's what it is, because I think one of the teams. I think I think the way it is it's technically a 3-game series, but doesn't one of the teams, like the team with the better record, start one win ahead, like getting an extra strike, starting with a strike when you're playing softball? It's something like that, if I remember correctly. But I know if they didn't do that, they're talking about it. But it's it's interesting. It's more baseball, which I think is a good thing. More October baseball. So I think it's a good thing. All right, Craig, any final thoughts this week, my friend?
Will, you have one awesome voice.
Thank you.
Awesome, man.
Voice of an angel.
I appreciate that. Thank
golden
you.
Voice, talk another golden voice.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Golden voice talking to another golden voice.
Color voice, Vice.
My only thought is I really don't think that the Mets are going to fall out. I think they're going to continue on, and getting that pitching back is no better time. I'm excited for the Mets fans, and I'm very concerned though that when the Yankees, I hope they go out pretty fast, because I don't want to see my future Giant player, Judge injured, or Shohei Ohtani, shut down for the rest of the season, save his arm, because we use him also. So,
Well, you're going to sign both?
Oh, yeah. We'll both.
By the way, we have just announced that we will be doing random drug tests of Winter Meetings hosts. And Craig, you have been, for no reason at all, selected as the first recipient. Because clearly Shohei is going to be a Boston Red Sox player next year. We've already talked about that. We talked about this. You get Aaron Judge, I get Shohei. Don't step on my ground, or I'm gonna steal Aaron Judge from you too.
I like
Remember,
that.
We have more money than you guys.
Judge could pitch, he'd be right there, but he can't.
And honestly, I think that Shohei is going to get that MVP. I think Shohei is starting to edge Judge out, but I don't think he should. Because if you take Aaron Judge out of the Yankees lineup, that team does not win as many games. They are not even a playoff contender.
Exactly.
Well, I just think they should change the name of MVP to like best hitter or something.
Yes, I mean, but the thing of it is, and because if Shohei's presence made the difference between the Angels making and missing the playoffs, or being a contender, I'll say it like that, being a contender. If Shohei's impact was such that it makes the difference between them being a contender, I'm willing to give Shohei a seat at that table.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah,
but
me too.
But the Angels organization doesn't know how to build a roster anymore.
Nope.
So they're wasting the prime of two generational talents in Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani.
2 Hall of Famers.
Guaranteed, yeah.
Easy.
First ballot Hall of Famers.
Easy.
So for me, I mean, it's that simple, you know. But we'll see what happens.
Yep.
And you know, as we wrap this up, again, thank you all for joining us. You can catch past episodes on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and I think is really cool, Audible. So if you have an Audible subscription, you can definitely give a listen to the winter meetings and catch up for anything that you've missed.
Look at you,
YouTube. Don't forget YouTube and Twitch as well.
And we do have, yes, the Sports Report and Winter Meetings YouTube channel, and also the Sports Report Twitch page. You can definitely check us out there. Please share and support our page. We would really like to continue to grow this show and talk to you more about baseball. A shout out to our friends over at the Sportsaholic news page. All news things in quick articles and a picture you can read and digest and scroll through. They are our news extension. We will share some posts on our pages, of course, but they are our news extension now because they're good at that stuff. And I write for them sometimes too, but mostly the good people do it.
Real quick, shout out to my boy Dan. I wish he was here tonight.
Dan the Dick?
Dan the Dick, yep. He is still processing the fact that the Yankees found their offense. So I was talking to him earlier today. He was very excited about that. I think he's actually catching up watching the Chiefs game now because I know he recorded that so we can watch the Yankees game. But we'll get Dan's thought on how you're going with the Yankees tomorrow night on the Sports Report. Yep. Thank you all for supporting us. We will see you next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here. Have a great night. Thanks, everybody.
Later, guys.
Take care, guys.
Yep.
Why is this not? There we go. No, not what I wanted.
Have we done?
You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you